Imagine walking along a quiet trail when you notice a wild animal standing near the path. It is watching you. Then you see something smaller behind it. A baby, maybe a tiny fox kit peeking from the grass. Maybe a young deer lying still beneath a bush. Maybe a bird calling from the ground while a chick waits nearby. The parent does not run away. Instead, it stays close. And suddenly, an emotional thought appears. Did this wild animal bring its baby to a human for help? It is one of the most powerful stories we can imagine. A parent animal, frightened and desperate, crossing the line between the wild world and the human world to protect its young. But is that really what is happening? The honest answer is both more mysterious and more important. Sometimes animals with babies do approach people in unusual situations. They may be injured, they may be trapped, they may be searching for food, shelter, or safety. They may have become used to humans, or they may simply be traveling through a place where people happen to be nearby. But scientists cannot always prove that an animal is thinking, "This person can help my baby." Wild animals do not tell us their intentions. We have to be careful not to turn every encounter into a story that feels good but misses what the animal truly needs. And that is where the real mystery begins, because animals may not speak our language, but parents across nature understand something powerful: protect the young. A mother bird may dive at a much larger animal to defend a nest. A deer may lead danger away from her fawn. An elephant may stand between a calf and a threat. A fox may carry food back to a hidden den. A penguin may endure freezing winds to keep an egg warm. Different animals have different lives, but for many parents, the goal is the same: keep the baby alive long enough to grow. That can make parent animals behave in ways that seem brave, strange, or even impossible. Imagine a mother bird with a nest near a busy trail. A person walks too close. The bird does not fly far away. Instead, it flutters along the ground, dragging a wing as if it is injured. It looks helpless. It looks like an easy target, but it may be performing one of nature's cleverest tricks. The bird is trying to pull attention away from the nest. It wants the danger to follow it, not the chicks. This behavior is called a distraction display. It is not always used by the same species, but the idea is simple: act vulnerable to protect something even more vulnerable. To a human, the bird may look like it needs help, but the bird may be trying to keep you away. That is the first big lesson of wildlife encounters. Sometimes what looks like a request is actually a warning, and sometimes what looks like abandonment is actually parenting. Picture a baby deer lying quietly in tall grass. It is small, it is alone, it barely moves. A person sees it and feels worried. Where is its mother? Why has she left it? But mother deer often leave young fawns hidden while they search for food. The fawn stays still because moving too much could attract predators. It has very little scent, and its spotted coat helps it blend into the grass. The mother may return later to feed it. So if a person picks up the fawn because it looks lonely, they may accidentally interrupt a survival strategy that has worked for deer for thousands of years. Nature can look sad when we only see one small part of the story. A mother animal may be close by, watching, waiting, hoping humans will leave. But then there are situations where something truly has gone wrong. A baby bird may be tangled in string. A young fox may be trapped in a fence. A seal pup may be caught in discarded fishing gear. A mother animal may be injured and unable to care for her young. In these moments, wildlife can appear close to people because the normal rules of survival have been broken. And when the normal rules break, animals sometimes do unusual things. A wild animal that would normally avoid humans may stay nearby because it is too exhausted to leave. A parent may bring a baby near a building because the area feels safer from predators. A mother may search for food near people because natural food has become difficult to find. Or an animal may have learned that humans sometimes leave scraps, water, or shelter behind. This does not always mean the animal trusts humans. It may mean the animal has no better option. That difference matters, because a frightened wild parent can be dangerous. A mother animal with babies may defend them fiercely. Even a small animal can bite or scratch if it feels trapped. Larger animals can cause serious injuries simply by trying to escape, and wildlife may carry diseases that people and pets should avoid. The safest choice is rarely to walk closer. If you see a wild animal parent with babies, pause. Watch quietly from a distance. Keep pets away. Do not offer food. Do not try to touch the baby. And do not assume the parent wants your help just because it is nearby. The animal may need space more than anything else. But why do some animals seem comfortable around humans at all? Part of the answer is learning. Wild animals are always noticing patterns. A squirrel in a city park may learn that people drop food. A fox may learn that gardens have fallen fruit. A raccoon may learn that bins contain easy meals. A bird may learn that outdoor cafes have crumbs. Animals that live near towns and cities become experts at reading the human world. They learn when streets are busy. They learn where food appears. They learn which yards have dogs. They learn which people ignore them and which people chase them away. This can make wildlife seem bold. But boldness is not always trust. A wild animal that approaches people may simply be responding to experience. That is why feeding wildlife can cause problems. At first, giving food to a wild animal can feel kind. A hungry-looking bird comes close. A squirrel takes a snack. A fox waits near a garden. But over time, the animal may stop searching naturally for food. It may approach roads, houses, campsites, and people more often. It may become more vulnerable to traffic, pets, conflict, or harmful food. A wild baby may also learn the wrong lesson. If its parent brings it near people for food, the baby may grow up seeing humans as part of its normal feeding routine. That is not a gift. It can be a danger that lasts a lifetime. The best way to care about wild animals is not to make them dependent on us. It is to protect the places where they can live without us. Healthy forests, clean rivers, safe wetlands, native plants, quiet nesting spaces, migration routes free from danger. These are the real gifts that wildlife needs. Still, there are moments that make us wonder, what about a wild animal that seems to lead a person somewhere? What about a mother animal that stays near a human after her baby is rescued? What about a whale that remains close to a boat while entangled in rope? These stories can be extraordinary, and it is possible that intelligent animals sometimes recognize that humans can change their situation. Animals learn from observation. They remember experiences. They may notice that people remove an object, open a gate, or provide a path out of danger. But there is a difference between saying an animal has learned something and saying it understands human intentions exactly as we do. Science asks us to be humble. We can observe behavior. We can describe what happened. We can say an animal approached, waited, returned, followed, or stayed nearby. But unless we have stronger evidence, we should be careful about claiming we know what the animal felt or planned. That caution does not make wildlife less amazing. It makes the real story more amazing. A wild animal is not a character written for a human movie. It has its own needs, its own instincts, its own memories, its own dangers, its own family. And sometimes our kindest response is not to turn that animal into a story about us. It is to notice what it needs. Imagine finding a baby bird near a road. Instead of picking it up, you keep people and pets away. You look for signs of injury. You contact a licensed wildlife rehabilitator if it appears truly in danger. Imagine seeing a mother animal with babies near your home. Instead of feeding her, you remove attractants like open trash and pet food. You give her a route to leave. You let wildlife professionals advise you if the situation becomes unsafe. Imagine seeing a marine animal entangled in rope. Instead of jumping into the water, you contact trained responders who have the equipment and experience to help safely. In each case, real help begins with respect. So why do wild animals bring their babies to humans? Sometimes they may not be bringing them at all. They may be hiding them, protecting them, moving through their territory, searching for food, avoiding another threat, or responding to a problem that has pushed them closer to people. And in rare situations, they may appear to seek a kind of relief that humans can provide. But the biggest lesson is this: wild parents do not need us to assume we understand every choice they make. They need us to be careful. They need us to be patient. They need us to learn the difference between helping and interfering. Because the wild is full of parents doing everything they can for their young. A fox guarding a den, a bird defending a nest, a deer hiding a fawn, a whale guiding a calf through open water. They are already experts at raising their babies. Our job is not to replace them. Our job is to make sure our world does not make that job harder. What do you think? Can wild animals recognize when people might help their babies? And what incredible animal mystery should Andy explore next?